brothers and sisters and friends. This afternoon, we want to talk about the ballot or the bullet. The ballot or the bullet explains itself. We have a fight that's common to all of us. We suffer political oppression, economic exploitation, and social degradation. Today it's time to stop singing and start swinging.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Man, fresh edition of First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Happening right now. My name is Paul B. He's Buddy to Gawd. Welcome, welcome, welcome on this Wednesday, May 21st, 2025. How y'all doing this morning? Good morning. Appreciate everybody coming in early with us. Got a great show today, so get ready to come in and have some good conversation. Do us a favor, spread the word, share the show, do all the things so we can really get some people in and have a great discussion. And right off the bat, I'll tell you, we got special guest, Senator Rountree in-house. That's going to be coming through a little later on in the show, so stay tuned for that. And welcome. Good morning.
Yeah,
man, I see Leah Keister saying, what's up Wednesday? So excited to hear from Senator Rountree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so are we. Pop says good Wednesday morning and mad love from Las Vegas.
Hey.
Ronald Harrison gives us a good morning, First Sky family. Good morning to you, sir. Appreciate it. How you doing today, buddy? What's going on?
Man, could have used a couple more winks, but I'm all right. I'm all right. We here. Definitely looking forward to speaking to Senator Rountree right there with you, Leia. Yeah, looking forward to it. A brother from senator from Bellevue. So is he your senator? Let us know.
Yeah, let us know. I absolutely could use a couple dozen more winks.
There you go.
Yeah, it's one of them long nights and early mornings. So that's what it is for me this morning. So I'm hanging in there by a thread. So bear with me.
Yeah. Get some of that storm. Get some of that weather up there.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe there was something going on last night kept me up. I'm not sure.
Yeah. There's supposed to be some pretty interesting weather.
How are you guys doing on this hump day? Are you making it through the week here? Is it feeling like a hump day to you? RG gives us a morning, y'all. Judy Princess says, happy Wednesday. I'm off to Seattle today for a big gay wedding. Okay.
Safe travels.
Yeah. Safe travels indeed. Traveling is real funny these days with the whole ID situation. With the real ID that you gotta have to travel domestically and all that. So yeah, I think you can do it with a passport too. So if you don't have the real ID, you can travel with a passport.
Okay.
So yeah, get all that stuff in order, man. You got to get it in order to do any traveling coming up. I'm hoping to do some traveling this summer myself. So
man, cloud hopping.
Little cloud hopping. RG said, y'all catch that Malcolm X video with Sherman and Kasim and Kimra? Man.
Yes,
we did.
Yes,
we did. Yeah, it was it's definitely something that is floating around, feeling good for everybody. I got to tell you, I was very happy to see that. I was like, this is the quality. This is the
this is it.
thing I'm talking about right here, right? This is it. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can pull it up and play a little bit of it anyway. Let's see.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't want to play it because it's on Instagram and it looks funny on the screen, but we're gonna try it anyway.
But people talking about it.
We'll talk about it, man. It's what's up. All right, here we go. See if we got it. Okay, it looks like we got technical. See what I'm saying? This is the reason why.
Okay.
And I didn't get a message. You guys hear the video? Could you hear the video? I was trying to get in a weird sound. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
this is
heard it at first, and it was like, what's going
Tech
on?
Be Tech. And anyway, you guys get the gist. It's floating around everywhere. You can go to our Instagram page. As a matter of fact, we've been posting it over there. My personal Instagram page too. So definitely check out
Man,
that video if you've seen it. Yeah, audio. Yeah, man. I was appreciate you guys letting me know. I was like, can you first of all, can you even hear it? And second of all, is it coming through? Tech be teching around here, man, for real. So yeah, but I appreciate you guys checking that out. Pop says he loves the what did he say? He said, I love that video. Yeah, definitely go check it
man.
out. Go check it out. First Sky Omaha, the Instagram page. And sign up. Like us over there when you get a chance too. So I appreciate that. Heather Williams gives us a good morning, everyone. Also, I think RG said y'all he was saying that. Also Leah Keister said he's my senator. So we talking about Senator Rountree,
Nice.
Bellevue area. Yep. Cool. I'm glad. No wonder you excited to hear from him too. That's what's up. Heather Williams says beautiful work. No, I couldn't hear it. Yeah, sorry about that, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew I shouldn't have did. I said I wasn't gonna do it, and then I went. And I felt the
Yeah, that's what I
spirit.
was like. All right. Curveball.
Yeah, Pop says I thought First Sky had done this video since everybody on it was First Sky fam. Yeah,
Man.
yeah,
Yeah, man.
we did feel that way. It was like we should have did that video right there. That's all our
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah.
yeah. But hey, if you do need work like that, holla at us.
Yeah,
Holla
yeah,
at us.
that's the level we're on right now. And as a matter of fact, I'll reiterate that too because we've been talking a lot about the services side of what we do over here at First Sky Omaha, and that's really what helps sustain situations. So we've been doing a lot of video work and stuff like that lately in order to really keep this thing going. Because it's subscriptions are slow going. It's hard to get people to really kind of subscribe to a yet another thing on top of
Man,
their Netflix and everything else.
man.
I appreciate the people that do, and we hope to get more. But we all, us, we trying to find the alternative ways to keep this mug rolling. So if you need that kind of work, advertising, video work, definitely hit us up. Let us know. But yeah, with that, I definitely just want to make sure that everybody knows the full breadth of what it is First Sky Omaha is doing these days for sure.
Oh yeah. Full media company. So let us know. In the meantime, between time, how you doing, Paul? You good? You
Yeah, like I said, I could use a couple more dozen winks for real,
man.
for real. But feeling good though, feeling good. Just excited about all the stuff that we got going on in a real way. Here's Marianne Williams coming in saying, "Good morning, lovely people. Glad to be here
Hey,
today. Appreciate you coming through." Mama God gives us a good morning. Appreciate everybody that's getting up early with us on this Wednesday.
yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm anxious to talk to our guest. We've been wanting to have Brother Roundtree on for a minute. Senator Roundtree, put some
There
respect on
you
his
go.
name.
There you go.
We'll definitely be talking to him. In the meantime, there's some community updates that's happening. It's kind of jobby job season.
Man,
Everybody got a everybody's been posting Friends of First Sky Omaha. We got the haps, and now we're gonna have to create another segment called the jobs, I guess. Because
jobby job.
yeah, man, and let us know if anybody ever gets a job that they saw on Friends of First Sky Omaha. Let us know because there might be a segment we gotta push on with.
Man,
Yeah, man. First off, our partners over there at Culture House are hiring instructors for the summer. So that's what's up. I appreciate that, man. Creative writing, music production, art illustration. If you have any teacher bone in your body and you got some art and you got some Love Supreme art skills, you might want to hit them up and check them out. Go to Culture House and get some more information on this. They're hiring for instructors right now for the summer. Summer's coming up in a big way. So definitely check that out. Also, the slowdown. This is a friend of mine, Dan Brennan, who's
hey,
been doing sound at the slowdown for a while. This is a really interesting end right here. This man been doing it since the slowdown opened years and years ago, and I've never seen any ad out here for a backstage coordinator, production and backstage coordinator. So there's some training involved with this job as well. Production and backstage coordinator, you'd be able to get be able to be around some of the people that are coming through to do shows. I mean, we've seen Kamasi Washington there, Thundercat,
man.
everybody. So you get to rub some elbows there, learn how to do production, learn how to take care of the back end. And I think there'll be some, he said, potential for growth in this position, and it's brand new and hasn't taken shape. So hit him
Mm.
up at jobsattheslowdown.com or just look up Dan Brennan on Facebook and hit him up. Yeah, let him know. I was going to, somebody shoot this to Aggie Kid. He needs to
Man,
say it right here in a big way.
man, Slowdown is probably one of my favorite venues in the city, man.
Yeah.
Done a few shows there at the Slowdown.
Top
Get
notch
down.
sound. If you know how to do sound at the slowdown, you know how to do sound for the likes of Kamasi Washington and people like that.
Man, get down.
Get down. Our partners over at Heart Ministries also hiring. So join our amazing team for facilities specialists. Apply today. So go to Heart Ministry Center I believe it is, and hit them up if you're interested in doing some work over there. They got a good crew, a good team. We know from doing work with them, and they always hire some specialists, some people that get down over there. And there's a lot of movement, man. You're really helping folks out when you're working over here with whatever it is you're doing, top to bottom, from
Man,
getting food to health situations, dental situations, even just being able to wash your clothes, all the way up to helping you get your finances together to be able to own a home and stuff like that. So they got lots going on at the Heart Ministry Center. I highly encourage you check them out and be a part of the team if you're into helping people that way, in a big way. Also, man, District 11,
hey,
Senator Terrell McKinney's office is doing that as well. Policy research, writing, public relations, constituent services, office management, and other related work. Man, he's like, come on through. We're hiring legislative aid for District 11. Man, you know you want to be a legislative aid for Senator Terrell McKinney in District 11. Go check him out.
man. Actually, if you're interested in getting, a start in politics and don't know where to start, it's a good start. It's a
Yeah,
good start.
you got your hands on you right there in the face of everything as a legislative aid.
Yeah, man.
You're touching everything and everybody right there. So, yeah, definitely check it out. And also, this is a interesting one right here. We always are talking
Man.
about the Commission on African American Affairs.
Mm-hmm.
Apply to be a commissioner. Come on through. I'm like, where's everybody in the chat? They got something to say about the African American affairs all the time. Come on through.
Man.
This is where Tony Johnson at. Come on through and get on and be a commissioner. You can apply to be a commissioner through this link. I'll go ahead and let me see if I even copied that link over. No, I didn't. So you can go ahead and check it out. And for Sky Omaha, copy that link there. Governor.nebraska.gov/boards hyphen commissions hyphen open. And you can get that from the Friends of First Sky Omaha. And apply if you're interested in doing this. Nebraska Commission on African American Affairs has been kind of a controversial organization because of all the changes and stuff that they've been going through. I think Tim Clark is interim leader over there right now. So it's an opportunity to open it up. And if you want to make some change in this area or get them more involved in what's going on in local politics, shape it to be what it needs to be, highly suggest you check it out. Highly suggest you check it out. With that, our little job section is done for the moment. I'll jump over to a couple of things, man. Here's a situation over here with that Creighton's putting on an Urban League as well. It's the Dr. Frank T. Peak Memorial Health Fair. This is actually going on tomorrow from 9 to 12. You can do free health screenings, blood pressure checks, nutrition resources, mental health resources, insurance guidance, and all that good stuff is going to be over at the Urban League, 3040 Lake Street in Omaha. So go over there and check it out. Health fair, always good to do a free screening, check your blood pressure, so on and so forth. And if you don't have insurance, this is a good situation for you to go over there and get some information on how to have some insurance. I was surprised myself, didn't think I was going to be able to afford it, and I'm talking to some folks that can get in on that Obamacare on a level of my income level is, and can make it be a kind of a reasonable payment each month to get back on some insurance. So highly suggest you go talk to somebody over there about it. And like I said, this is going on tomorrow, so definitely check it out. Also, we gotta put this in here too. Another missing person here, Savannah Standing Bear. They said read and share is a $5,000 reward. They also need boots on the ground. A search party gathering tomorrow. This dropped the other day, so I have to find out what day this search party is going on. But definitely take a look. Keep a lookout. She's 5'5", 140 pounds. Another missing woman with black hair. Missing young woman. Black hair, light brown eyes. Last seen wearing black sweater, blue jeans, and Nike shoes. So definitely, please. So it looks like March. She's been missing since March 30th. So we'll have to contact them over there. The number 605-856-2282. Maybe they'll have some other information on whether or not they're going out and doing another search party at this time as well. So unfortunately, we have to definitely talk about that. But there's also other things going on. There's still the Malcolm X Memorial Foundation celebration of Malcolm X 100 happening. They gave us a whole list of dates here that they got things going on. Of course, we're past the May 19th meeting of the minds that just happened. And the next thing coming up is May 30th, the film screening. So definitely check in with the Malcolm X Memorial Foundation, find out what they got going on. And then they have, of course, the Legacy Gala. Get your tickets for the gala the next day, May 31st. it's happening as well. So I'm glad to see that they got this going on for a while, man. Most of May is a celebration of Malcolm X 100th centennial. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I'm happy to see that the city and all the states around the world really rally behind what's going on here. You're seeing it everywhere. Everybody's making a comment, so that's what's up.
Man,
And
big
last
time.
but not least, they had a press conference yesterday about Native Omaha Days. They gave a list of all the things that's coming up. They talked a lot about the history of it as well. You know, the two founders, Vera Johnson and Betty McDonald, and all the work they put in. The 25th year that this is going on. So this will be the 25th year, and they already the only information they gave us here as far as the flyer is concerned is about the homecoming parade that's happening. Vicky Young is heading this up Saturday, August 2nd. Put this on your agenda. 30th in Lake to 30th in Sprague, and they said it's still time to be able to get in the parade. Registration is now open, so you can still kind of get in there all the way up until July 25th. Looks like the deadline is. So yeah, go ahead and get down and get out there and figure out what you can do to get into this parade. I think it's gonna be a big one this year in a big way. But
Man,
go check out the Native Omaha Days Festival page because they're gonna start trickling information about the events and things that's going on there. So pretty great press conference. I'll go ahead and put the link to that press conference in the chat so you can see it all, hear everything that went down. Because I think it's gonna be pretty awesome. So right now that's what's going on. We'll talk about a few more things that are happening a little later on the show, some more haps that's going down a little later on the show. But before we get too far out of time, let's go ahead and jump over to Buddy and talk about what we're talking about today. What's happening today, Buddy? What's today's show?
yeah. Talking about a few resources out there actually, and or lack thereof. Let's be honest. Again, as we mentioned earlier, we are expecting brother Senator Rountree to come through, put some respect on his name, and he's been fighting a good fight. Again, we haven't really talked much about him or his tenure as a senator, but again, brother's making headway and headlines as his fight to help those formerly incarcerated with SNAP benefits, which apparently has fallen short due to a veto. So we'll talk about that whole process of what the next steps are with him. There are a few other things actually happening. It is summertime. Baby's going to be home. Families might need some SNAP, might need some assistance, and some changes actually happening at the state level with Pillin and some of the budget changes actually becoming Nebraska now becoming the first state in the nation to ban some items in regards to SNAP. Some people saying it's poverty shaming. Yeah. The whole sin tax conversation continues. So definitely would love to hear some thoughts on that situation and just some information, especially again for those who are relying on SNAP. Apparently, I mean, especially ahead of the summer, man. I know a baby's been home from school. Anything can help with that. So. Also, speaking of anything helping with the babies being home for school, there is a summer job program that's coming from the sheriff department of all places. So I want to talk about that, and especially with some of the narratives that are going on from the sheriff's department about our youth. Very interesting move here. Would love to hear your thoughts on that. Also, as Paul talked about, speaking of hearing some thoughts, I do have some thoughts on the Native Omaha Days. Again, we have some changes, some new leadership in the city. What does this mean for Omaha Days? What to expect? Yeah. I just want to, get into a brief conversation about that. Again, this is the 25th. I guess it's kind of interesting because it happens every other year. This is actually now 50 years that Native Omahans have been celebrating Native Omaha Day. This is the 25th celebration, but yes, 50 years of celebrating Native Omaha. And so I definitely want to talk about this milestone that we're going to have this year. And of course, a few other things happening. If there's something on your hearts and minds that we're not talking about, feel free to jump into the conversation, jump into the chat, let your mind be free, let your voice be heard. But again, we're here for 1 hour, just one today, just 1 hour. But again, join the conversation. In the meantime, between time, Paul B.
Yo.
What's the word?
Man, appreciate that. I see RG say, yeah, man, I think Pillin is going to be the one to approve you as commissioner, talking about that situation over there. Yep. So that'll be interesting. Also, Stephen Abraham is in the chat. Good morning. He says, good morning, Grand Rising. We made it through another rotation. Yes, we did. Appreciate it, man. I'm happy to be awake, even though I wanted to be back asleep a little bit. It's all good. It's all good. Happy to be up and talking to you guys. Let's take a quick break and we'll come back and jump into the conversation. And again, if you're just joining us, we're anticipating Senator Rountree of Bellevue to come on through and talk to us about what's been going on, man. A lot of activity on his bill, some vetoes, some votes, all kinds of stuff going on. We need to talk about, and just kind of in general, like how his bill's been treated. I'm sure that he'll have a lot to say about it.
Mm,
So we'll
mm.
definitely see. In the meantime, stay tuned. We'll be right back again. You're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, buddy to God. Good morning on this Wednesday. Stay tuned.
Lead poisoning in children under 7 is scary, but it's also 100% preventable. Not only can lead be found in paint and soil, it can be found in many common spices, certain baby foods, and brought home from job sites. Children with lead poisoning might not show any symptoms until their levels are dangerously high. So ask your healthcare provider for a lead test for your child. You can help prevent lead poisoning in children.
Shout out to Douglas County Health Department sending that message through us. We appreciate them doing that, keeping us in mind and keeping our audience in mind, knowing that we speak to the people on a regular basis and need to get these kinds of messages. So again, if you have any messages like that you want to get out, definitely hit us up, firstsky.omaha@gmail.com. Let us know what your campaign is and we'll send you over a price sheet and we can figure it out. Because it's really important for us to do that. So shout out to everybody who values what it is that we're doing here and decides they want to come and do business with us and try to get the word out and do us a favor, patronize some of these things. So if you got some situations there, you've been questioning about where the lead is coming from, definitely go hit them up and, let them know you heard it from us and you wanted to definitely check in and see what you could do about checking for lead in your food, in your paint, in the house, everything that's going on with that, and also that remediation, that yard remediation that needs to be done as well. So we're going to continue with this message until we beat this whole idea with the lead situation, and especially in North and South Omaha, really got a lot of stuff going on when it comes to that, and we're going to do our best to try to make it a healthier environment in a big way. So shout out to them for that. And with that, we'll go ahead. It's 7:23 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, again, you're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Got brother Senator Rountree coming a little later on in the show. But before we get to that, let's jump into a little bit of a conversation here, if you would.
Yeah, a little bit. I would like to just add on really quickly to what you were saying about the lead situation. I always like to put it in its historical context as far as this, being a part of the history of redlining. Again, we got into these properties and got placed and forced into areas that already were, they knew like they knew for sure it was intentional to put certain communities and areas and neighborhoods that were already environmentally dangerous. And now this is just an effort to eradicate that and reverse the curse, if you will. So
can you imagine that, all these laws and regulations that the planning department has about where you can build stuff and how you can't build stuff next to industrial sites and so on and so forth? They didn't care nothing about that when it came to where they was putting us. They didn't care nothing about that. They set up the black neighborhood right next to industrial lead complexes and stuff, and put them next to the coal plant. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it becomes a fight from day one. And we don't even have the brunt of it. I think about places down south that literally get fertilizer and stuff sprayed in the air around their house. I mean, it goes deep, man. Every black community is sitting next to some kind of environmental craziness.
Cancer Alley, man. Cancer or asthma alley really is really what it is. So, again, just put it in that context. A big shout out to Douglas County and the city of Omaha and the work that is, they are doing as far as trying to reverse this lead situation. So, and we're playing our role in letting the people know. So again, if you haven't already done it, make sure you check into it. And the interesting part is, to that point, Paul, places that we were pushed to, forced to, kind of expected to die, we thrive. We still thrive despite all those things, and that's what this Native Omaha Day celebration is all about: the history, the legacy of Omaha Days, of North Omaha to be exact. And I just wanted to just share some thoughts, man. I'd love to hear from you all in the chat. We don't have to dive too deep into it as we do have our guests. But we've been talking about North Omaha spaces, the place, the viability of North Omaha staying, North Omaha as we envision it in our minds when we say North Omaha. Of course, we know that the demographic is changing. Shout out to Anthony Rogers Wright, kind of tipping us off that North Omaha isn't predominantly black anymore as far as the demographics go. But Native Omaha Days, I wonder if now that we have, Councilwoman Goodwin, that is a part of the North 24th BID. We have now a black mayor who is a North Omaha native. What does this mean for North Omaha Days? Will we get a little Omaha support, a little support from the city?
I think we might. I feel like we might. I feel like it's happening. I'm hearing on their press conference yesterday, they talked a lot about this being a national, a national thing. Everybody in the country knows that this is happening. They kind of give it that. And so, I have a feeling that the way they did this whole press conference and everything that's happening, they got some good funds. I think the city's been backing them. I don't know this for sure, but I'd love to follow the money on that and see if the city is helping the situation out of the Visitors Bureau or something that makes some sense for why Native Omaha Days would be important to the whole city. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, hopefully it be treated like the tourist destination, tourist event that it is. I mean, hundreds of people come to Omaha and spend money, get in hotels. It's no different than College World Series.
Big time. Wanda Lewis in the chat real quick is reminding us some states allow developers to build over black cemeteries. We can't forget about a lot of the lakes that pop up all over the country that are built over whole black communities that just drown them out, and now there's a lake in those areas, and those used to be black communities.
Man,
Central Park used to be a black community. They just ran them out and they made a whole Central Park in New York. So yeah, this happens all the time, man, all over the place all the time. It's like they push us somewhere where there's going to be environmental problems. We fight the environmental problems and make the place better, and then they want to come gentrify and push us out again after it's a good place to live again. And it sounds like a cycle. A lot of times.
that part. But I'm with brother RG in the chat. Hashtag resilience is definitely the word I'm thinking of. Continuing to fight the good fight. And I think we do have our special guest waiting in the wings, so we're preparing to bring him on here in a second. But when you think of resilience and fighting the good fight, this brother is definitely one of the ones I'm thinking of. We just heard of the environment that these senators have to deal with on Monday when we had our senator cipher. Shout out to Senators Terrell McKinney and Ashley Spivey for letting us know what they have to go against. But I would love to speak to this next brother and hear exactly what he's up against. Again, without further ado, let's bring on Senator Brother Rountree.
Hey, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Amen. Good morning. God bless you. We're doing well this morning. It's another day the Lord has allowed us to see. So for that, we are thankful.
Yes, sir.
It's like my pop says, as long as we on this side of the grass, we doing all right.
That's right. Sir. Looking down at it and not up at roots.
Man, as I always like to say, good to be seen and not viewed. You know what I mean?
Right.
Amen. Well, welcome.
Rountree, I'm sorry to jump in here. I just I feel bad that we haven't had you on sooner. We've been talking about you for a while, and we've been talking about the idea, and then finally clicked. Why don't we just have him on and let's talk about this? So it just happened to coincide with a lot of stuff that's going on in the news. So I'm happy that you took the time with us and we're patient. We've been doing this show for a couple of years and ain't had you on yet. So we just want to apologize, and I'm glad you're here.
Oh, it is quite all right. This is the right time to be on. So we appreciate the invitation, and glad I'm just taking the time this morning just to come in and just to chat for a little while.
Thank you. You
Yes,
told
sir.
us before you came. You said that you're going to be heading up to the legislature. You got things you got to do today. You're kind of taking a little time off, so we're going to try to get out with you so you can get going about your day. And I respect your time, and I appreciate you coming.
All right, thank you so much. And I'm giving you the time that's needed. Legislature is going to be there when I get there. So,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But hey, the work has to be done, and let's go ahead and dive into it. We've been kind of talking about the bill that you've been pushing. We personally here at First Sky Omaha have been working with 180 reentry program out of MCC and the whole fight for recidivism, trying to make sure our brothers and sisters, find a way back into society rather than back behind bars. And we think your bill goes a long way towards that. Before we get into just the whole veto situation, can you kind of speak to how this bill came on your radar and why you decided to push it?
well, yes, I appreciate that opportunity. The bill came on the radar as we were building our legislation for this particular session. I had talked with Nebraska Appleseed, and they fight for a lot of our justice and rights. And they asked if I would carry the bill. And after investigating it, talking a little bit about it, I said, yeah, that would be a bill that I wanted to carry because it's one that really impacts us so deeply. And then we made that my priority bill. We had about 8 other bills that I was carrying as well, which was, good being a freshman senator. I thought the workload was just right, but really poured our heart and soul into this bill because it would reach out and bring back under the umbrella a lot who have been cast out. As a pastor, I always have concern for the least of these. And, working in that arena, this was just a good bill to carry. It was time, and we looked at the states that are around us that have gotten rid of the failed policies that Clinton had back in 1996. States were allowed to put in a total waiver, get rid of the policies. Nebraska just hadn't done that. So this was one that I thought we could go back and knock on again and really press and fight. So we did get it through the legislature, but it was vetoed. And we failed, as you saw on Monday, to override the governor's veto for reasons. But, we fought the good fight of faith, and we will be back.
Heard that. That's the latest news on this. We've been following this, and the latest news is that the senators failed to override the veto. Seven previous senators who had previously voted to end the ban voted to sustain after the veto. So looks like they, that's the one that stuck out to me. I felt like, well, man, they're not even being people of their word. They were they wanted it in the first place, and as soon as the governor said something, they went back on it. So like kind of a little bit of like they trying to suck up a little bit, and kind of felt to me. So I don't know who, I didn't look and see who changed their vote yet, but I just thought so many senators would flip like that was kind of just, I guess it ain't unprecedented, but I guess it's still surprising to me. So I feel, and I know we have I don't know if you know, but we do what we call the Senator Cipher. We have Senator Terrell McKinney. Before we had Senator Wayne, now we have on Senator Spivey. They come on every other week, and we've learned through them that you kind of got to talk to the other senators and make some deals and you can just, ask for their support and count on their support. So I can't imagine that you hadn't spoken to these senators and how you feel about the fact that they flipped on you like that.
Well, I'm disappointed. We talk about protecting the integrity of the unicameral. It's supposed to be nonpartisan, but it falls right down that line. And so when I left on last Thursday, once the bill was vetoed and I ran my vote card, I had a chance to go and talk. And some says I could stand with you now, but since the governor's veto, and I'm not going to be able to do that. And each individual, and that just being men, women, living here on this earth, everyone has to make their decision in their heart. And how I walk is no foul, no harm. You have to be accountable for the decisions. You have to be accountable for your own word.
Right.
And, I asked some that I knew had been in each phase of the bill had been against the bill. So I was surprised to see some vote for the bill in the final reading. But then I recognized quickly what was going on because I always understood, I heard that they wanted to kill the bill as we were going down the line. So when you were in there for a while, if you talk to Senator McKinney and Spivey, you get to feel the atmosphere of the unicameral, and and I always try to do, as the Bible says, know those who labor among you. Once you know them, then you know how to walk, and you're not going to be surprised about anything that really happens, because you'll always show who you are.
Right, right. And speaking of that, I just, for those who might not know, I actually wanted to dive into exactly what the bill is and what it does. We kind of have been speaking around the bill, but LB 319, again, as you mentioned, your priority bill would have lifted the ban entirely as far as snap bans for those who have served prison sentences for drug convictions, again, such as if the offender completed their criminal sentence or was serving a term of parole on post-release supervision. Also under the bill, a person with 3 or more felony convictions for drug possession or use had to participate in an accredited substance abuse treatment program unless a healthcare provider determined it was not needed. Now, I do know that you did kind of, try to change the bill to go to some of the opposition to work along. Speaking of, working with some of those senators. But what did this change of events kind of signal as far as the overall fight in Nebraska prisons? Again, still one of the most overcrowded prison systems in the nation, and just how we combat this monster that is the Nebraska prison system.
Well, it is a monster. And being that this bill was supported by our Lincoln Police Department, our law enforcement officers, this bill, when you restore human dignity, they really felt strongly that that would improve their interactions with members who were being restored. They wouldn't have an opportunity to go back and to recidivate and go back into prison.
Right.
So that was one of the first things that we really felt good about the bill. But now, as we stay with status quo, the prisons are still going to be overcrowded. And as you talked to Senator McKinney, that's one of his great passions, to talk about that prison, even the new one that's already overcrowded before. There's another bill that one of our fellow Republican senators, Senator Rick Holcroft, one right here in Sarpy County with me, is introducing the Second Chance Act that would allow some of those that were lifetime sentences to be able to come before a parole board and then have an opportunity for the pardons board. That bill was fought hard. And so it seems like there's not opportunity for forgiveness. You have a set of people that believe that if you've ever made mistakes, that there's no forgiveness for you. And that's what I talked about Monday. So it keeps us right in that strain, but that's why we're not going to stop fighting. We'll come back, we'll continue to knock this one down, because it doesn't just affect the member who's repatriated into society. On that bill 319, I did give some ground and put in those testing and program treatments for 3 or more. That was what the other side wanted. So we acquiesced and we gave that, and still in the process that was overturned. So
right.
Yeah. I think Senator McKinney brought that fact out when he was on just recently, saying you even tried to work with them and put in the stuff in the bill that they wanted, and they still came back and did that. So
Right. So is there a path forward for this, or is it dead right now?
For this term, it's over. That was done. So just give everybody a moment to let things settle in, and we'll reach back out. As a matter of fact, to be honest, some of the senators that voted against overriding the veto have come back and said, well, you need to bring it back, and let's see how we can do that and do that. But like I tell you, I know who I labor among. Your word is your bond. So that's
hey, it
I'm
is
just
what
going
it
to be
is.
honest with you. So
and I appreciate your attitude too, because this is the reason why I couldn't never be a senator, because I'd be mad at them. But you have this attitude, them. And it's funny, I have this from this movie I like. I have this thing called the Ordell Roby theory, where you don't have to trust them. You ain't got to have faith in them. You just got to know who they are, and they're gonna act how they're gonna act, and then that doesn't. You don't have to get riled up because of it. So I appreciate the fact that you're gonna come back and fight, because that's really the point,
right?
In the allyship and stuff that you try to build in the legislature is really not people gonna come and go, and things will always change up. How long have you been in the legislature, by the way?
This is probably day 82, 83. So I've been in about 83 days. This is my first term, man. And, background, Air Force retired, FEMA, civil service here at the base. And, I was just retired from FEMA last January, and I picked up this opportunity to run for this seat since it was term limited. And God blessed us to be able to go in. One of the great things that all of our constituents had when I was knocking on doors was to try to bring some civility back to the unicameral, where men and women could speak to each other. And that's why I don't force. And I always tell them, I said, many have pointed the finger at me and judge. I said, but when you point the finger at me, think about the three that's pointing back at you. And that's
Right.
why I don't judge. I just walk and know those who I labor among. So manage your expectations.
I feel
Okay. That's a very logical, reasonable approach in this, because the work still has to be done. So you have to figure it out some way. And I'm definitely, excited and happy the work that I'm seeing you do already. I do want to pivot a little bit and jump into a few other things that are, happening in the legislature. We spoke to Senator Spivey McKinney about the budget. Speaking of the unicameral and just some of the controversy that goes on, that's a issue that impacts everybody, regardless of political leanings. We have to figure out this budget. What are your thoughts on the budget package that recently came out and where we're going as far as the state's budget?
There were challenges in the budget. A lot of funding got cut, funds got swept. And so learning that process, Senator Spivey worked on the Appropriations Committee, so she was deeper in it than I was. But having been a budget officer for the base out here for 7 years, I understand the budget process. And to be honest, let's be honest, at the end of the day, when the governor asks for something, where the strength is in the unicameral now, they're going to try to get there and get him what he wants. And it's going to hurt some people along the way. If you saw the paper this morning or even yesterday, Nebraska Lincoln said they're not giving pay raises to their staffs because of funding cuts and things. So it has a trickle-down effect, and it falls right back into our communities, things that are being cut out. So we'll wait until we've sent the budget to the governor. So we're waiting to see what comes back. There'll probably be some line item vetoes and funding things. We have some of the justice programs that funding was cut for those, juvenile courts on those. So we'll look to see how that fight goes and see if anything is vetoed, see if our people have the stamina to go back and override those vetoes and keep the funding in the budget.
interesting.
Yeah. Do you? Oh, go ahead.
No, you.
Just a small follow up on that. Like, do you have confidence that many of the services will remain intact out of this? It does seem like there's been, as you mentioned, and we'll talk a little later on, there's been even more changes to SNAP beyond the veto to your bill. Some syntax things have been talked about, candy, things like that. What are your thoughts about real services that are under attack right now?
Well, to be honest, we have to stand up and fight. However, there are a lot of things that have been driven down from the national level. And if you've understood the environment that we're in the political climate, you saw that we were the first in the nation just recently to deal with this SNAP issue, ban sodas and things of that nature. So we're going to see more of that. We have someone who's going to determine how we live and how funds are going to go. So we'll see more.
This is exactly, but we of course are in the same mind again. I wanted to ask you about this bill coming up. We're jokingly calling it the. I guess we're not calling it. They actually call it the sin tax, right?
Yeah.
And I wonder, and you're obviously a man of God, and you also are from a military background as well. And so I wonder about this. I always call this the paternalism that we see in our city, in our government, in the legislature, where they want to dictate how you live and things like what you can eat and what you can spend your money on and so on. But coming from the backgrounds that you are, it sounds like you are not for that kind of paternalism, for people to be able to make their own choice and do what they decide they need to do for themselves. Is that am I correct in where I'm hearing from you?
I challenge everyone, and I've taken a lot of flack, a lot of heat for some of my thought processes, but I always ask anyone, I said, when was the last time, whether you believe in God or not, I said, when was the last time he took away your right to make a decision?
Wow.
He'll tell you what the consequences are if your decisions are. But if you look at Joshua 24:15, he said, but as for me and my house, we know what we're going to do, but you can do what you want to do. These are your consequences. And so things that I always taught my kids, that their rights end where someone else's rights begin. And so I don't want to infringe on that. But each one of us, God has given us opportunity to choose. And so, yes, I get beat for that a lot. But as a man of God and preaching the gospel, I'll say, if you smoke cigarettes, more than likely you might contract lung cancer. But that's your choice, and I'm not going to shut it down. So
Yeah,
Mm.
a lot. I hear a lot of people trying to shut things down because of religious ideas. So it's interesting to hear you say this for sure.
Man, actually, big time, big time. That is a very interesting approach, and this is something I was actually thinking about, kind of wondering where your stance on the medical marijuana situation would be. But I want to present it in a larger scope, as far as a feeling that the legislature has been going against the will of the people. Kind of speaking about this. Your belief that people should make their own decisions again recently, and particularly in medical marijuana, the people voted saying that they want medical marijuana, but we've seen in the legislature a lot of pressure against that, and a feeling that the people don't know what they want. What are your thoughts about some of those activities in the legislature?
Well, like I said, as a freshman senator walking through this the first time, but not one that was born yesterday.
Hmm. Okay.
Amen.
Right.
When you look at the numbers and you look at the numbers of people who voted for these ballot initiatives, sick leave, our medical marijuana, whether it was abortion, whether it was minimum wage. Look at the numbers, and the numbers tell us that people understood and they know what they were voting for. So that's what you hear come on the floor a lot. Well, the people didn't know. What they do know, and my email box stays full of people. We knew what we were doing. We knew what we were doing. So listen, when you got 70, 80%, I think that's anybody in stats know that's a pretty good stat that people probably know what they're asking for.
Right.
So we try to give them what they're asking for because they elected us to come to Lincoln to do that.
Right. It's just really, I'm really encouraged right now. Sometimes I get a little skeptical sometimes when people come from the church, because of the fact that you believe what you believe that things are wrong, and that part of our life we're trying to encourage people to do the right thing. But at the same time, if the will of the people in this job, then that's what you got to go for. I see a lot of senators that will put their beliefs ahead and say, well, the people don't know, they don't know what they need. And I need to change that and change and do it for them. And it's just encouraging to hear senators saying that's not how you work. That's not how you operate.
Well, you have to consider, and I tell everyone, I say, in due season, all of us that are in the legislature now will not be there. There'll be a whole new set of people. And so what matters is how you carry the flag during your time. Did you represent the will of the people, or did you go in and enact legislature that was going to be a benefit to yourself and not be concerned about anyone else? And that's the challenge that we come up against. And I believe that the tide will change. And I warn, and I won't say warn, but as I talk with my fellow senators that have the power now, I just let them know, as one of our great writers wrote, that every storm will run out of rain. So you might be the storm now, but it will run out of rain. And if we go back to the word of God, because people don't like me to say that, but I say that really the last shall be first. You might be first now, but it said there'll be a reversal of the roles. So you need to be real careful how you wield power when you have it.
Right.
Well, Senator Rountree, you can always come over on this show and say whatever you want to say without getting any flack back from us. So we appreciate you. As a matter of fact, people in the chat are saying that too. Marianne Williams says, "Thank you for your continued service, Senator. So happy you're in the Nebraska legislature." Pops is saying, "Yep, free moral agency." Kimber Snipes is in the chat saying, "Good morning, Senator. Thank you for your service and for your intentional questions I heard you asking during the hearings." So she's paying attention there. That's what's happening. Senator Stephen Abraham is asking a question. Senator Rountree, what would be the interesting thing you have learned about Nebraska being in the unicameral? What's the interesting thing you've learned?
Well, the interesting thing that I've learned is that we really need to respect the fact that it is a unicameral. We have to respect that fact and realize that at the end of the day, we can't go into our tribes. And I know a lot of times we might fall on the dim side because we're standing to push back against, as I read in some of the comments about building over Black cemeteries, and as you talked about lakes in old communities. And so we have to stand as that pushback, that guard, so that we don't get run over but I would like to see more cooperation and collaboration. If we can take aside a lot of those and look at what are the great needs of Nebraskans and how we can come together and do that instead of saying that hey, we're Republicans and we're going to drive this agenda and get it while we have the numbers.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Man.
Thank you, man. We'll definitely have to have you back another time. One last question before we get out of here. I gotta ask from Bellevue, where's the good food at? Where's the good food at in Bellevue?
Oh, listen, man, I come up down in North Omaha, I come up on 24th Street and get me some good food up there.
Okay, you come
But
this way. Okay.
yeah, I come that way. Man. So yeah, you got a little fish shop. Bishop Ford has a little fish shop. Get and go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Get me some fish, and I go up to Jackson's up there, AJ Jackson's. I like to take the church and go up there, so I come north when I need some.
Hey, okay.
Nice. Also, really quick, what do you appreciate? What's your church?
Our church is Endure to the End Ministries, Church of God in Christ, down here in Bellevue. So we're a smaller church, but we do a lot of outreach. Our whole concern is about taking care of the souls and making sure that people have what they need. Yeah, they got good soul food in Bellevue. We got Shugs down there. So
Is Quick Bite still down there?
Quick Bites.
There's a soul food spot down there named Quick Bites. It might be closed now, but
it might be down. I think they have one. We had Quick Bites, but I think Shug's Comfort Food is our good soul food place down here on Mission Street.
Yeah, Shugs get down.
Yeah.
nice.
Well, we appreciate you. If you guys want to look, if anybody want to contact you, what's the best way to contact you? You got an email address or something you want to shoot the people in case they want to get a hold of you, or what's the best way?
I'll have my legislative email up, but if they want to just talk personal things, they can always reach my personal email, and that's a real easy one. And I'll give that. I don't mind it. It's Diamond Shirt, like a shirt full of diamonds. I was an Air Force First Sergeant, and we wore a diamond in our chevrons. So I say Diamond Shirt at AOL.com. It's old, so I've had it for a long time.
Okay.
Well, I didn't know America Online was still a thing.
Listen, I've had it since we've had internet, so that's it.
Well, that's
starting to think. Yeah, that's Diamond Shirt at AOL.com. Thank you so much. And yes, Shugs is the old Quick Bites.
Okay.
Comfort foods.
That's
Okay.
I have to go in there and get my gizzards.
Yes, sir.
That gives that crack. It's funny that you say that you've been your email is AOL, because there's something about somebody that kept an email that long that speaks to your consistency of the human being that you are. Appreciate your visit, man. Good luck today at the Unicamera, and we really appreciate you coming by. Really enjoyed this visit.
Yeah, this has been great. So yes, I would love to come back and just get more involved and come back and talk some more.
Please do.
All right, then. Thank you so much, and have a blessed day today. Thank you now.
You as well.
Bye-bye.
Peace.
Man.
Okay. Enjoyed that conversation. Very pleasant, brother. Very, very pleasant.
Very pleasant. Appreciate everybody that had some questions and comments there. I missed Wanda Lewis saying, personally, I consider alcohol to be more problematic than marijuana when it comes to functioning and awareness. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I'm from California. They legalized that decades ago, so it's over there. So yeah, it's really interesting to be back in that, to be back around with the fight of medical again. Seeing all the same points and hearing all the same things that they used to say that already got stomped on, and already.
Remember, it's gonna kill the kids. Remember that.
Right. She said, RJ said, y'all would fall out. The senator came with the Hotmail email. hey, AOL older than Hotmail, bro. AOL older than Hotmail.
I can just hear the dial-up sound now.
He gave me the flashback of the AOL can that used to come in the mail with the disc.
Running.
RG said, "Man, you could tell Senator Rountree is the pastor. Yeah, he got it.
Oh, it's the cadence. It's definitely the cadence.
Yes, he got it. Yeah. Man, that was really nice. I'm glad to finally be able to talk to him. I was just thinking about I was going to give a shout out to Stuart Chittenden, who has that live show He introduced me to the Nebraska Appleseed people, and we went to I went to a meeting there with Nebraska Appleseed when they were talking about that bill that they wanted to get in front of the senator, and they mentioned his name and who they had already talked to and who was. You got mail. Yeah. You got mail.
Oh man.
But they entered, and I was thinking to myself, okay, I got to get with Brother Rountree, and talk about this. So it's interesting just to see the progression of that. That was like last year, and now this year he went ahead and pushed that bill through like he said he would. It got pushed back, got vetoed, came back. 7 senators went back on their word on it, and here we are. So it's just a trip, man. It's a real trip how that gets down there. So. Appreciate everybody that's coming through. It's 7:55 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, is there anything else you wanted to jump into before we got a few minutes to jump into something a message that we had this time around here? Anything you want to jump into before we get into
I did have just we kind of actually talked about the stories and throughout the course of the conversation, but I did want to dive into this band a little more, just lay it out plainly. Because this is very interesting as far as the SNAP ban. Again, for those families relying on SNAP, you might want to think twice when you're preparing for your summer barbecue and kickbacks. As apparently, as Senator Rountree just informed us, Nebraska has become the first state in the nation to ban energy drinks, soda, soft drinks, and things like that from SNAP benefits. Some are calling it a targeted move. Actually, one by saying by targeting just SNAP participants, we're poverty shaming the most vulnerable among us and adding complications to an already complicated system. However, Pillin pushed back on the move, saying that families need to get healthy food into their diets and that there is nothing nutritious about the drinks to be ruled out under the waiver. And unfortunately, I have to agree with that one. As I don't really allow my children to drink a lot of soda or energy drinks or anything. It's mostly water and fruit juices. So, I understand, having healthy options for the family, but to the point that Brother Rountree, Senator Rountree, put some respect on his name, made, doesn't end there. Where does the paternalism end? Where does the decision making on what someone can or can't do with their benefits, where does it end? What is Pillin being a pig farmer? Is he going to start a campaign against chicken and beef next? Nope,
because there ain't no sin in eating chicken and beef, according to him. If there ain't no sin in eating pork, then there ain't no sin in eating chicken and beef as far as he's concerned. So
yeah. So
that's the thing, it's the paternalism. It's that they've decided what it is that you should and shouldn't do, and and so they want to police that, and that's insane.
Man. But also to finish, in other news, speaking of policing things, the sheriff's department just announced a new hire and a new youth program, which is quite interesting given kind of the rhetoric we've been seeing from the sheriff's department, basically trying to paint our youth, our young 11-year-olds as miscreants, as just all out villains. But now there's a new program for young people ages 17 and 24, coming along with a new hire of a youth and family engagement specialist, a sister named Alexia King. The name is kind of ringing a bell, but not sure. If anyone is familiar with this program or the sister, please let us know. Again, she was recently hired as youth and family specialist. So her job will be to work alongside these young people, again, ages 17 to 24, who are in the justice program. She says to offer those justice involved an opportunity to further their education and then get jobs right after they finish. Apparently, the initiative is all about second chances to connect students who are justice involved, i.e. those in the system, to education, so that those youth into a good job or a good paying job is a transformative to our community. So hopefully this goes towards the right direction as far as getting some young folk back on the right path. But just again, more seems like, especially for our young folk, resources too late. Again, mental health resources, job resources, family resources. Seems like everything is offered on the back end after you get in trouble, after you get a record, after you get in the system. which is, we all know, is extremely hard to get out, even with these programs. So again, while this looks like a good thing on the surface, so we'll have to see how it plays out. Definitely interested in seeing what jobs they offer through this program, and again, where the money is coming from. We'll definitely love to learn more about this. Sister Kimmer in the chat giving a little more information, saying word on the street is Aaron Hansen designs these youth programs so he can get information from the kids. So again, on the surface, it looks like a good idea, but again, given some of the rhetoric from the sheriff's department, kind of hard to trust it fully.
Most def. Appreciate that. We'll continue more on this conversation on Friday. We got a special guest, Denise Chapman from the University of Great Art, will join us on Friday, and we'll talk about what's going on over there, the new season that they got going on for sure. Anthony Rogers Wright said he wished we would have asked the senator to pray for his New York Knicks in their road to the championship against the Pacers tonight. Orange and blue skies.
All right, orange and blue skies, baby. Go New York, go New York, go.
Yeah, we'll see what's happening. Wanda Lewis in the chat says some of the same people voting against the marijuana bill probably has a substance problem and rely on pills, alcohol, etc. to cope with life or mental health issues. Lots of free radicals. Yeah, man, and Kimmer is saying not to trust Aaron Hansen at all when it comes to these things. So it sounds like it could be
a trap.
Smidge of a percent, not a smidge.
Trap.
Not a tinch of a percent.
Man, all I'm saying is that's how COINTELPRO worked. You know what I'm saying? You got in the system, they offered you a job. Next thing you know, movement's getting dismantled. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Turning kids into snitches.
I'm just saying.
It's 9:01. I'm sorry, 8:01. If you believe in the concept of time, we appreciate you guys staying with us to the bitter end, and even a minute past. We're gonna go ahead and get out of here. Pops said he loved the show. Senator Rountree does it the right way. See you all on Friday. I hear that, Pops. That's what's up. Heather Williams says, "Let's go Knicks. My team at home." Oh, okay, look.
Okay.
He done found some allies in here with the Anthony Rogers. Right, you got some allies in here for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also he's saying we need this, buddy. The rent's too damn high. Eric Adams sold us out, and the price for a slice of pizza is now $5. Ooh.
$5 for a slice?
But you know what, bro? I'll be craving a New York slice so bad I'll pay $10 for it right now. You can show up. Can't trust it. Come on with the Public Enemy.
Man, come on, man.
No. Can't trust it. They cut the drums. We gotta get out of here, y'all. Appreciate it. Buddy, you got some words for the people?
Man, pleasure speaking to Senator Rountree. We'll have to do it again. And a big shout out to all of you for tuning in. We appreciate you. We love you. We thank you. Catch the same time, same place. It looks like it will be a Love Supreme Friday as we speak to Sister Denise Chapman. So yeah, looking forward to that. And in the meantime, between time, look out for that weekly wrap on Friday.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Take care of yourselves. Good luck to the Knicks. We out. Paul B, take it away, man.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, we're going to get out of here. I'm going to put that link in the chat for you to hit so that you can sign up for the weekly wrap, get that newsletter each week. I really appreciate that in a big way. If you have not done that already, thank you. That's what's going on. Appreciate it. And I'm going to go ahead and get on up. So shout out to the Omaha tribe elders for allowing us to be on this land and speak while we're here. Shout out to our elders for allowing us to speak before you. And shout out to you, the chat chimers, allowing us to speak with you. Had a good time on this Wednesday, on this hump day. Appreciate that very much. She says, Melissa Hoochin Mayo says you should invite Aaron Hansen to the show. I think I did once. Didn't get a response back, but that'd be an interesting show if he actually came on. Maybe we should try that. So appreciate it. Mama God said, ask Senator Rountree to join Senator Cypher some weeks. Good idea. Love it.
Definitely.
She said, good show. Appreciate you guys very much.
Thank you.
Also, I want to give thanks to the Ghost in the Machine for acting right with the tech today.
Ghost in the Shell.
Man, shout out to Senator Rountree for having his setup nice and ready to go. Microphone, camera on point, hooked up to the internet, came through clean. Appreciate him. And I'm the tech guy, so I'm definitely like when the tech is bad, I'm sitting here shaking. So when the tech is good, thanks to the Ghost in the Machine. Appreciate it.
Hey.
Shout out to you, chat chimers, ghost listeners, and all the monitoring spirits who check us out, but would never say they do. If you miss any parts of this show, please go back and check it out on YouTube. And while you're over there, please like and subscribe And please hit us up over at firstsky.omaha.com and hit the store button, man, and get down on some of the merch that we got over there so we can keep on fighting the tower.
Hey.
Yeah, part of the proceeds go to the Underwood Tenants Group so we can keep on helping them get their tenants' rights. And also purchasing a shirt absolutely helps us to continue this show as well. So please do that. Also, go to hit the join button and become a reoccurring member of the channel as well. Shout out to the $10 people, the $25 people, the $50 people. Thank you. We need more. If you value what we do, if you're a regular on the show, please consider going and checking it out. Go to firstskyOmaha.com, hit the join button. I know we're asking you to do another subscription situation like Netflix and everything else, and we can get bombarded with all those things, but we got to do something. We got to do several different kinds of things in order to kind of keep this rolling because we're on our own out here. Things are getting rough. I had a meeting with some news people yesterday, and they were just like, with this administration, things is getting rough for all news, rougher than it already has been. So, and we're determined to keep this up. We feel like what we're doing is an important thing. I hope you do too. And I hope that you help us keep this rolling. So with that, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Love Supreme Friday is going down. Denise Chapman. I've been waiting to hear from her. So we got to be catching up with her. So shout out. Marion Williams says, have a great day. Thanks for Sky. Thank you. Can't do it without you.
Thank you.
Really good. Yep. All day long. Appreciate it. And we'll talk to you Friday. So take care of yourselves. It's going to be a kind of a weird, warm, kind of cool, kind of half rainy day today. So
sounds about right.
Mm-hmm.
Omaha.
Nebraska Day, Omaha Day.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, sounds about right.
Take care of yourselves. We'll see you Friday.
By the way, Vanglorious. This is protected by the red